Morning, everyone. Day 19 would have been 20, but as you can probably hear from my voice, I wasn't with you yesterday. I had the dreaded cold. Let me just hit that. So I am feeling a little bit better today, but I'm still a little bit slow. I'm still taking things slowly. Fully just turned up in my pajamas today. And obviously my voice isn't so good. I've got a bit of a cough and a cold, but we're good, it's fine. So today is going to be a nice, gentle 10 minutes. It's not so good for me if I'm upside down and moving my head around too much. So we're going to do a really nice, calming, gentle recovery flow, which will be really nice for you guys too. It's the time of year, isn't it? So if anybody else has anything similar to me, will be really nice for you. So I'm going to begin seated this morning. You can, of course, as always, begin lying down if that you prefer. But just finding a nice, comfortable seat that you can take a few moments of stillness. Once you've found your seat, just closing down the eyes. Just noticing your surroundings. So I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is torrential rain here this morning. Checking in with yourself, noticing how you feel this morning. You feeling good, raring to go? You taking things a little bit slower like me? Just checking in. And then as you're ready, not changing anything with your breath at all. We're just going to bring our awareness onto the breath. Just noticing your inhales and exhales. And then maybe, if it feels comfortable for you, we're just going to begin to deepen the breath. So lengthen your inhales and exhales to a point that feels okay. Finding a rhythm that will see you through the rest of your practice. Maybe if it feels okay for you, experimenting with that inhale through the nose. Sadly, that's not going to happen for me today, but if you're able to breathe through your nose, just giving that a go maybe. And if they're not already, just begin to blink the eyes open, keeping a hold of that deeper breath. We're just going to take some nice, gentle movement in line with the breath. So as you inhale, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, let's take the right ear over the right shoulder. Take another round of breath here. On your next inhale, coming back through center. Sit really tall again. And then as you exhale, take the left ear onto left shoulder. Taking a round of breath as you feel that stretch all down the right side of the neck. Inhaling to come back up through center. And now we're going to take some nose circles. So we're going to draw those big circles with our nose. You can take it either way. We'll repeat going the opposite way eventually. I'm going to begin clockwise. So as you inhale, taking it up, chin goes towards the ceiling. As you exhale, gazing down towards the ground. Inhale as you look up. Exhale as you gaze down. Let's do one more clockwise, or whichever direction you're going in. And then when you reach the middle, taking a breath just before we change direction as you exhale, gazing down. Inhaling, gazing up. And we'll do one more to even it out. Meeting back in the middle, just bringing your gaze directly out in front. And then we're going to take the hands down by your sides initially. We're going to do all of our movements today with the breath. So just waiting, taking those nice intentional breaths. And on your next inhale, we're going to take the arms up overhead. We're going to bring the hands together, so interlace the fingers. And as you do so, really stretch through the side body. So sending those arms, sending those hands up as high as you can, sitting really tall here. And then we're just going to find some nice side stretches in this position. So as you inhale, always thinking nice and tall. And then as you exhale, let's just lean those hands over towards the left. You should feel a side stretch all down the right side, but probably with the arms in this position, you should feel a nice stretch through the shoulder. As you inhale, come back up into center. And as you exhale, let's take it to the other side. So moving towards the right this time. Nice stretch down on the left side of the body this time. As you really reach through those hands, all down the side of the left body. Inhale to come back into center. And then as you exhale, we're just going to bring the hands back down by our sides. We're going to send the legs out long. You can stay where you are. I'm just going to move to the side so you can see me demonstrate a little bit better. Sending the legs out long. Let's bend the right knee, bringing the sole of the right foot onto the mat. And we're just going to take a nice gentle twist here. So taking the inside of the left elbow, we're going to wrap that around the right knee. Sit up nice and tall as you inhale. Flex through the left foot so the toes are pointing towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, we're going to turn towards the right. That right hand can be outside, alongside you or behind you. But we're not using that hand to crank us around, just finding where your body naturally twists to. Breathing here. As you inhale, coming back through center. And we're going to switch it onto the other side. So bending the left knee this time. Left sole of the foot comes onto the mat. Flex through that right foot so the toes point towards the ceiling. We're going to bring the inside of the right elbow this time around the left knee. Inhale nice and tall. Left hand either alongside you or maybe behind you. Really nice and tall through the spine, and as you exhale, twisting towards the left. And you can always test if you found your kind of natural twist, because if you take your hands off, your body won't move. But if you crank yourself around, if you take that hand off, you'll kind of snap back. So just finding where's most natural for you. And then coming back through center. Both legs out long. Let's take a seated forward fold. So I would start personally with a nice deep bend in the knees. And we're going to bend as much as you need to just take hold of the feet, either around the sides of the feet or the tops or the toes. Maybe the ankles or the shins if you prefer. And then just as you work into it, maybe beginning to straighten through the legs. But you don't have to. Just finding a stretch here that feels good for you. Once you start to feel that stretch. working into it, breathing into it. It's going to look completely different for every single one of us practicing together this morning. Breathing into that stretch that you can feel down the back of the legs, through the hamstrings. Really nice, everyone. Just releasing that grip gently. We're going to come to lie on our backs now. So maybe you might need to shuffle ever so slightly. But we're going to roll onto our back. And to begin with, let's just bring the knees into the chest. Maybe taking that grip around the knees and just taking some gentle, nice gentle movement left to right. Or maybe using the knees to draw some circles. You'll feel that this is really nice on the lower back. It's one of my favourites for a reason. And then two options here. You can stay in knees to chest, just finding either stillness or some gentle movement. Or if you'd like to, you can move into Happy Baby this morning. So if you're going to move into Happy Baby, we're going to send the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. And we're going to take our hands either around the shins, around the ankles, or maybe around the outside of the feet. Bending the knees nice and generously. And then same thing again as in knees to chest. We're just going to find some gentle rocking movements here. If you're in Happy Baby, really kind of finding opposition. So with the feet, pressing them up to the ceiling. Feet are flexed, so you can really push those heels up towards the ceiling. And wherever you've kind of got grip, you're pulling down towards the ground. So you're finding a bit of resistance between the hands and the feet here. Really nice, everyone. When you're ready, just releasing the feet back down onto the mat with bent knees. And we'll end today with some nice supine twists. So pressing the feet into the ground, gently lifting the hips off the mat. Let's take the hips over towards the right first. And once we've placed them back down, knees drop over towards the left. The hands can come out wide. You can find that T-shaped position. Or if you're struggling for space, maybe bending at the elbows, finding cactus arms. If you'd like to, you can gaze towards the right. And maybe just begin to close down the eyes. Coming back to that breath. When you're ready, bringing your gaze back into center. Lifting the knees back up. Pressing into the soles of the feet as you lift your hips back into center for a second. Arms can remain where they are, or if you'd like to bring them alongside the body. As you press into the feet, maybe press into the hands, lifting the hips, sending them over towards the left this time. Knees drop over towards the right, and same again. Arms can come out wide, or you can bend at the elbows. And maybe the gaze moves over towards the left. Maybe focusing on your breath here. Closing down the eyes if it feels comfortable for you. Feeling that nice twist throughout the body. And inhaling, bringing your gaze back up into center, lifting through the knees, pressing through the soles of the feet as you bring your hips back into center so the whole body is aligned again. And then we're just going to send the legs out long, finding that Shavasana position. Arms alongside the body, palms pointing towards the ceiling. If you'd prefer to find a comfortable seat to end today, as always, please feel free to do so. I'm going to guide you through Shavasana, but I'm going to come to seated just because I can breathe better with my cold sitting up. If you're in Shavasana, just allow the whole body to begin to feel really heavy. Feel like you're melting down into the ground. Releasing that tension, maybe through the ankles, the legs, the hips, letting the shoulders drop, relaxing the muscles of the face, closing down the eyes, and just allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm now. And just allowing yourself to be in this moment. Acknowledging, taking this time for yourself, even if maybe you didn't feel like it today or you had to talk yourself into it. Maybe you only caught the last few minutes. Just acknowledging, taking part, showing up for you, doing something a bit different. If you have time, as always, I would invite you to spend a little bit longer here in your final pose. And I will leave you there. Thank you so much for joining me. I apologize again for my lovely cold. And I will be back with you tomorrow.